Cases of malaria have appeared across Florida and Texas for the first time in
Kind of spoke on this before. Not going into the Bill Gates, whatever. Personally, I think all billionaires suck, eat the rich, but I am very much in favor of genetically modified organisms because they're not actually that bad as people think. They're just uneducated about genetically modified organisms and how they actually work. So, for the case of malaria specifically, um, I talked about this in a couple of my classes that climate change is causing some weird shit to happen to the environment because the specific mosquitoes that carry malaria are adapted to very warm, like very specific climates, but as the climate is changing, they are expanding their range, which is kind of scary. We don't want that. So that's kind of why cases of things like yellow fever and dengue fever and malaria are appearing in places that they are not supposed to be, just because the climate is changing and allowing the range of those specific mosquitoes to expand to new areas. So that in and of itself is sketchy as all hell. We don't like that. However, I am very much in favor of genetically modified organisms done correctly, not by sketchy billionaires, because ew. But genetically modified mosquitoes can be incredibly beneficial in lots of cases. There are cases where they have been modified to be sterile, and so they cannot reproduce, which is good because that reduces the mosquito population, or to have specific genes cloned into them that are passed on, which make the population sterile or get rid of the viruses or bacteria or parasites that they carry, and all of that interesting stuff. Even potentially used as vaccines, which has this whole ethical, informed consent part, but theoretically could be very useful and very helpful in eradicating a bunch of diseases such as malaria and yellow and dengue fever and stuff that is transported by mosquitoes. So genetically modified organisms are not inherently bad. It's just kind of the people that have access to them. Like, genetically modified organisms are not bad on their own. Genetically modified mosquitoes can have many, many uses and be very, very beneficial in controlling disease spread and like severity. There just is the concern of informed consent and ethics and all that, but in and of themselves, genetically modified mosquitoes are not bad. Very interesting area of research that definitely needs to be done more on before publicly available, but I am very much in favor of genetically modified mosquitoes being used as disease treatment and eradication.